Supposed to be payday for hundreds of thousands of federal workers, but it's not. They're missing their first full paychecks since the government shut down more than 3 weeks ago, and whatever dollars they do have, buying means less. Moody Analytics, for example, finds inflation, which is now at 3%, forced a typical American household to spend $208 more in September than the same time last year. And while federal families are forced to pinch, the federal government is spending at historic levels. The AP reports that in the middle of this shutdown, the country's gross national debt surpassed $38 trillion for the first time ever. $1 trillion was added in just the last 2 months alone. A lot of money talk these days. I want to bring in Republican Congressman Mark Alford of Missouri, who sits on the Appropriations and Small Business Committees. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for taking the time. Look, big day today. We've got hundreds of thousands of civilian federal employees set to miss their first full paychecks of this shutdown. As you know, Senate Democrats blocked a GOP-led bill to pay, quote, essential workers because they believed it should have also paid furloughed employees, and Republicans rejected that idea multiple times. I know it's Senate side, but do you see any space for compromise on that aspect of things today of all days?
Well, look, I think the federal employees should be paid. That's what the bill did in the Senate. I believe that the Democrats wanted just this pay cycle, and the bill, as I understand it, that went forward from the Republicans in the Senate was to pay it through the duration of this shutdown, the Schumer shutdown. We're in day 24 of America held hostage, and it's all on Chuck Schumer because of his fear, arrogance, and pride. And we've got to get out of this. We have 33,000 federal employees in the Kansas City area. Many of them live in the district that I represent just south of Kansas City, and they're going without a paycheck. Soon, SNAP benefits here in Missouri and all over the nation will not be able to be paid out, the food stamp program, because of Chuck Schumer. Real Americans are hurting. I think you've heard Ms. Clark, the minority leader for the U.S. House of Representatives, say on another network that, hey, this is part of their leverage. This is part of their political game to cause suffering for the American people so that they can gain support for the Schumer shutdown. We've got to return to regular order. You mentioned the $38 trillion in debt. We're paying more than $1 trillion of that in interest each year, more than we spend on national defense. That's why, Omar, we got all 12 appropriation bills out of committee, 3 passed on the House floor. All we were asking for was a simple 7-week extension of the current level of government funding. And the Democrats said no, and here we are.
Well, Congressman, I understand that, you all passed your clean CR, but at the heart of this shutdown is Democrats don't trust Republicans will negotiate in good faith when it comes to these health care subsidies, which in its current expiration track would raise premiums significantly. And again, I know the House has already passed their CR without it, but Senator Josh Hawley, for example, said he is ready to work with Democrats on this issue. He is not happy this is tied to the shutdown, as I know you're not too. But my question for you is, at this stage, would you be willing to have those talks, even if I'm sure, again, you're unhappy it's tied to shutdown dynamics? What is the plan?
I think we're happy to talk about it, but not now. We're not going to negotiate with the people holding America hostage.
So then why should Democrats trust that you'll talk about it if this is done?
They have voted on several times, and they need to vote on it again. Look, there are people in my district who are concerned about their subsidies going up. Again, this money's paid to the insurance company. It's not paid to the individual. These were COVID-era subsidies that the Democrats set the expiration date for at the end of this year. If they thought it needed to be permanent, they should have passed it as a permanent bill when they had power both in the House and the Senate and the presidency. We cannot continue to go down this road. Look, I know people are hurting. They're going to have a tough time paying these subsidies, but we've got to fix the healthcare system in America. Obamacare did not work. The Democrats knew that when they implemented it, and they were on the path and hopeful path of theirs to get to universal health care, Medicare for all. We are not doing that. We have to save Medicare. Medicare and Social Security make up 75% of our federal budget. In the Appropriations Committee, we only oversee and parse out some 24% of the budget. And so we have done our job. We have done our job in the U.S. House. It's time for Chuck Schumer to get out of this hole that he has dug for himself, put his pride, ego, and arrogance aside, and mostly his fear of losing to AOC in a future primary. Chuck, put that aside. Open the government. Let us get back to work.
House Speaker Mike Johnson told our Caitlin Collins a few nights ago that Republicans have proposals to address the health care subsidies and that they could have them ready, quote, immediately. I mean, look, over 400,000 people in Missouri are enrolled in the marketplace. Have you seen those proposals that Speaker Johnson is talking about? What are they then? And enlighten me.
No, I have not. I would like to. I'm coming back up to D.C. on Tuesday to meet with my staff there and check in on them. We have been doing tremendous work in our district, covering all 24 counties. I will tell you this, Omar.
Yep.
I don't think the Democrats are serious about this. They are using this as leverage. They want the pain. They want these statements to come out from the insurance companies come November 1st.
We've heard from Democrats who see these
and John Thune,
for health
the
care.
Senate Majority Leader, actually proposed to get this on the Senate floor for debate and a vote. He promised that to them, and they said no to that.
And Congressman, just before we go, I want to ask you about American agriculture, because the Trump administration, as you know, put out plans to quadruple the amount of beef from Argentina that can enter the U.S. with low tariffs. And Secretary Rollins said this is not a massive influx. I know you've been critical of their stances here, at least to this point. What do you believe the administration is not seeing that you are seeing in terms of handling beef and soybeans? We'll throw that in as well.
Yeah. Omar, I was not wearing a suit yesterday. I was in my my Wranglers and my pearl snap button shirt, and I went down to the auction house about 40 miles south of us in the district here, Mocan livestock auction. The ranchers are enjoying these higher prices, but they have not enjoyed the past 5 years. We have had extreme drought in Missouri and the Midwest, Oklahoma and Texas. A lot of these herds have had to be sold off, and now they're rebuilding the herds. The problem are the 5 large packing houses, which kind of throttle the number of kills they have each day and therefore control the prices of beef. Americans are suffering because beef prices are so high. The input cost that the farmers and ranchers have had in operating is untenable. We are losing 1,000 farms a month in America. In the 3 years that I've been in Congress here in Missouri, we've gone from 95,000 farms down to 87,000
more
farms.
Argentinian beef, essentially. Not to interrupt, but just throw that in there before we go.
Oh, yeah. I stand behind our beef producers here. We do not need more imports from Argentina. And by the way, I was down there last year visiting with President Milei, and their beef isn't that great. You know, I would prefer a Missouri, Kansas City strip any day over an Argentina beef.
All right. Well, maybe that's how we settle things in the end. Let's see which beef ends up better on the dinner table. Congressman Mark Alford, really appreciate the time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Omar. Take care.
All right. The Pentagon says the U.S. has carried out a strike on another alleged drug smuggling boat, the 10th known so far this year. We have more. We'll tell you about what we learned in this latest attack coming up.
This is so special for you.
It's dirty bread. I'm going to cry. My siblings, they make it, but it's not this. This takes me way back.
Tony Shalhoub, Breaking Bread, Sunday at 9 on CNN.
Look what I just found. No ding decline on the Experian app. They show me credit cards that won't hurt my credit if I'm not approved. Turns out I care about my credit health too. Get the app from your big financial friend. Experian.
Are you sure? You tend to exaggerate. Go ahead. Call him yourself.
Thank you for calling Aetna. How can I help you?
Do you really have Medicare plans that